We begin the news in the U.S., where the House of Representatives has rejected a Republican-led funding bill aimed at preventing a government shutdown. The bill would have suspended the country's borrowing limits for President-elect Donald Trump's first 2 years in office. However, dozens of Republican lawmakers rebelled against their own leadership, sinking the package. With federal agencies set to run out of cash on Friday night, the government shutdown is looming. The contentious bill's defeat has raised concerns about the country's ability to meet its financial obligations. And joining me to unwrap this is the political analyst and social commentator Michael Lanre Toluhi. He joins me from Manchester, United Kingdom. Before we entertain our guests, let's quickly listen to these excerpts. We'll be back to talk more on it.
On this vote, the yeas are 174, the nays are 235, one voting present. Two-thirds not being in the affirmative, the rules are not suspended and the bill is not passed.
Of course, that's how it went down at the U.S. Congress right there. Michael Lanre Toluhi joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, it's a pleasure having you around. What do you think about this particular spending bill being pushed by Donald Trump? The fact that even the Democrats are against it, including the Republicans also. What's your take?
Yeah, my take is it's a straight thing. We consider the new funding plan fair because even the opposition, everyone to them, there was an opposition from the Democrats. And a very significant number of Republicans went against this, and which basically shows that, okay, they are trying to do this and that they are not ready to do what needed to be done. The bill has, even though that the president-elect, the president of President Donald Trump has his endorsement, but yet 38 Republicans voted against this. This is just, this we are seeing to be what we call the fiscal conservatives, and they've actually opposed inclusion, debt ceiling suspension, and they felt that the bill did not do enough to reduce federal spending, basically because they felt this bill is not reducing federal spending. Especially when we see that the representative from Texas, Chip Rock, was, for example, he criticized the plan and he called it a shameful adding it, for adding that to the national debt. He's seeing that the internal GOP, he's seeing that the internal division in the Republicans is highlighted in this, and you can see that there is tension between the Trump-led Republican and the traditional fiscal responsible conservatives that we have in the United States. And when you look at this, but this is not going to be the first time, so I don't think we shouldn't think there's something wrong, because we could see that in between 2018 and 2019, in the first term of Republican, when Donald Trump was in his first term, when he was first there, we had such showdown too. There was kind of thing that happened, and there was a border war funding. If you saw that during when they do the wars between Mexico and America and the US, the negotiation went down and didn't go on well. So it just shows that this current situation just shows that they reflect, it actually shows a situation that reflects a recurring pattern in the way that the internal conservative or the Republican, like you might want to call them, struggle over to balance their physical conservatism and with what Trump often has to do, because Trump has been a businessman. Trump's been somebody that belongs to the boardroom. He's seen himself kill deals or finish deals or close deals. He's always going to come and wants business to go, all of them running up and down. But you see, some people say, "I'll not believe," or they're still finding hard or finding it difficult to believe that Donald Trump had emerged, because we saw the way he came on and over. So it's basically an internal wrangling in the Republican, because in the Republican that voted, this would have passed, because a huge number of Republicans did. So this happened, but it's normal. But it shows you, for me, it's a plus for a country like Nigeria, where you see the legislative doing their things and not be an appendage of the executive.
Well,
It really does not mean that these guys are not looking for the development of America, and it doesn't mean that Trump is not looking for the development of America. It just shows that the division of labor, it just shows the sharp division of labor, or the way it is that the executive and the legislative can disagree, but at the same time mean well for the populace.
Well, you would agree with me that Nigeria's case is a different pottle or kettle of fish, if you would agree with me. But then, looking at the repercussion of this, if a consensus is not reached by Friday night, federal services, essential services will shut down. Isn't that a worse situation to be in rather than having these spending bills scaled through?
Yeah, there will be a lot of suspension, strong in a lot of key infrastructural thing. But you see, it just shows another thing too, that the people just felt they need to know, because what the Republicans, especially the House, is saying is they want to have a ceiling to whatever is happening. They don't want America to go borrowing spree. They want to see how are they going to be able to generate and how are they going to be able to service this debt and all that. We know that if this thing is happening, there's going to be a lot of things that is going to happen. But the nation will still have to go to it, and there's a lot of because it's even more dangerous. It's actually politically and physically risky for them to just go on without having all this stopgap to ensure that the nation America does not go down. Already, we know that the economy of America is actually dwindling, because we also how the Democrats have actually managed it. It's obvious the Democrats has managed it well. Forget all the fine-tuning and all the, what I call it, trying to look for this one. All the facility they're trying to do, trying to claim that it's done. American economy is actually battered, and they need to do, is a time to call themselves and think, okay, what is the way forward? Hey, how can we go forward? What do we do? It's time to wear the critical thinking cap, and have thinking, how critically can we come out? It may not just be a way. You'll be surprised that.
I understand, Michael. Yeah, Michael, I understand that it's a democratic process in America. But then, what do you make of the fact that Elon Musk himself seems not to be supporting this bill? Is actually calling for the incarceration of any lawmaker who supports the bill for 2 years. One would expect that Elon Musk would actually support Donald Trump on this.
This is how I'm saying. The fact that Elon Musk supports the president-elect in his election, and already he's been targeted to be a cabinet member. He doesn't have to support it, because it's about the love of America. You see, it's about American first. It is not about Donald Trump. It is not about President Joe Biden. It's not about anybody. It's not about Elon Musk. It's about what is good for the Americans and America. And they're just all thinking about it. Believe me, even President Donald Trump have to pause. I'm sure he's probably thinking 1 or 2 strategies of how to go about this, what to do and what not to do. At the same time, too, Elon Musk and every other person looking at it. The House of Rep, probably the House is probably looking at it again and having an holistic thing. There might be a compromise. I guess Elon Musk is saying that because when you look at the document and when you look deeply at the document, all the thing is calling, it might probably taking America down. Yes, President Trump is a high-risk taker. You don't get to where he got to without taking high risk. He's a high-risk taker, and he's feeling all those things. But the Americans are pausing to check, is this risk worth the why, or is this risk not worth the why? If it's not worth the why, they will rather pause and do what they need to do.
All right, Michael Toluhi, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on this.